Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today? So, what is leadership, especially like corporate leadership? I mean, one of the things that I first realized that you can't be leading other people if you can't even lead yourself. I mean, let's just take it from there. There's so many people I see just saying, I'm busy, busy, busy. Well, if busy to me just means that you can't manage time. And if you can't manage time, you can't manage yourself. And if you can't manage yourself, what are you doing managing other people? Isn't it quite funny? All these little things that we say, and oh, I haven't got time for this and I haven't got time for that. And all it does is just showing me that you're not managing yourself or leading yourself. And then we have things that happen in our life. When we start to be able to lead ourselves from our thoughts, our feelings, and then our actions, and making sure that our actions are in alignment with the belief that we have. So many times we say we're going to do something and then we don't do it, or we end up doing something else. So, first and foremost, leadership is about leading yourself first. Don't even try to lead other people whenever you're not even leading yourself. Honest to goodness. But here's the thing. So whenever I was in corporate, and bear in mind that I'd already been in a leadership position in the NHS, quite a few actually, and then I go to corporate, and I do a leadership program, and they say you're not a leader. I mean, that was the outcome of the training. You're not a leader. And they said that they didn't think that I would be able to have the difficult conversations. Now, what I'd realized was, I didn't know it then, but what I'd realized was, is that I didn't talk over and above other people. I didn't talk, 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 talk. You see, to me, leadership is sometimes you're leading from the front. Now, what I've noticed is that if you're always talking, you're not listening. And so you think you know it all. And let me tell you, coming from somebody who thought she knew it all too, because I got that many qualifications that I didn't know what to do with them. I knew too much that I actually realized that I know nothing. You can study and study and study to the ends of the world, and you're not going to know a damn thing. It's so funny. So, listen, what is leadership? Standing, talking from the front? Well, if you're doing that all the time, then you're not listening and you're always directing. You employed people who were really good. Use them like Henry Ford did. Henry Ford literally had people who were better than him. Notice the Russian doll effect, that you want the Russian doll to go up, 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 not down, down, down. So you can't be the one who knows everything. Otherwise, then it will be a Russian doll effect going down. You employed these people because they are good at what they do. And you've got to learn to trust who you've literally pulled in. So, are you leading from the front? Sometimes it needs that. Yeah, sometimes it needs it. But sometimes it needs you just to muck in and get in and do all the work from the inside as well. I remember seeing that in David Lloyd's one time at the gym, and somebody had spilt something, and the manager just happened to be walking past, and he got the blue roll and he cleaned it all up. He got the little yellow thing to say, be careful, walk in here. And he sorted it all out there and then. Like, it must have taken a couple of minutes and it was done. Now, I thought that was brilliant leadership. What he showed me doing that was proper leadership, getting stuck in and not afraid to do anything. I see them serving food as well in that gym. I literally, see them serving food, because if they're short staffed, then everybody just gets mucked in. And sometimes you have to do that. You got to be able to do the do. And then there's other times where you lead from behind, where you allow them to shine, 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 to empower them and to allow them, ask them to do something, and then allow them to do it. Not your way, but their way, because they could come up with something that you had never even thought of. You employed them for a reason, allow them to shine. So, what had happened to me as I went through different roles in the corporate, that whenever I wanted to have this absolute strategic, role, I would do the assessment center, and I would come get top marks, but I would fail at the interview. They said I was not leadership material. They hadn't seen me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and be the strategic thing. Just, yeah, They hadn't seen me do that, so they didn't think I was leadership material. So for 2 years, I kept turning up, and turning up to those assessment centres. Persistence, let me tell you, but kept turning up to them. And each time they would say I wasn't leadership material. And so then a woman came on board, and she noticed me, and she took me on, and she said, "You're a leader now, Sheena, lead." So I thought, I don't really know what you mean. There's a job to be done. I know how to do it. I know how to tell other people to do it. I know what data to get. I know all this to do it, and I'm actually doing it. I just don't talk about it as much as everybody else does. I'm getting on with it. And in that first year, I had proof that every interaction that I had with any of the sales team, their sales increased. I had literally statistical proof. But oh no, they wanted me to be that voice, that constantly talking, presenting. Well, what I realized was is that while most people were just talking, Sheena was the one who was actually doing, and who was leading, and who was getting on, and who was creating the sales. Because by the end of the year, I was number one, and they couldn't take that away from me. I was literally top 10%, number one in the UK, and top 10% globally in the company, a number one company in its industry. So you tell me about leadership. How do you want to lead? Do you always want to be the one who's doing the talking and leading, or are you wanting to empower them? What I realized is that leading is actually serving. It is serving. And I know we have these fancy words of the selfless leader, the servant leader, but this isn't about theory and about, reading all the books and copying the actions of everybody else. It's about being your authentic self, knowing what needs to be done, and trusting yourself to understand the people that will take you to help get that done, and then to help empower those people as well. It's not always about talking. If you're doing too much talking, to be honest, it's mostly your ego. When I've worked with corporate teams, I've had people who were coached before me, and they were told, the ones who were quiet, that they were told that they need to talk more. And so that actually the coaching ended up making them feel lacking in confidence. And because they were trying to be something else. When I do strengths with people, whenever you have a one-to-one with me, you understand exactly how you think. And I can tell you how you think, and I understand you, how you think. And then when we can see that actually you're the one who actually thinks through things, and before you speak, it will be very important. It will be significant. It is not just speaking for the sake of speaking. There are people who do love to hear the sound of their own voices, but maybe we need to rein you in a bit, and maybe we need to do presentations so you get so tired of talking that you like to be quiet and listen to everybody else. Everybody has their own place, but unless you understand how you're programmed to think, like your unique way, imagine if you could find that out, your unique way. Imagine if you could find that out for your team as well. Wow. Imagine if you knew how to be that servant leader. Isn't everybody talking about that? Imagine if you could literally understand exactly what that is, with not teaching you what to think, but teaching you how to think. And then you can impart that onto your team. Wow. Imagine. And imagine knowing how each member of your team, how to actually increase the energy in them, making them feel valuable, and making them feel of the impression of increase. So, hello, I've just got somebody saying, so in lack of potential of others, the smartest person in the room is the one who makes smarter people working with. It is how you develop follower or leaders for the future. I'll have to read that again. Thank you so much for having your comment on here. Yes, so leadership is about developing people, and not just, whenever you serve people, you actually serve yourself at the same time, and you serve the company. It's all a win-win-win. So let's rejig what corporate leadership actually looks like. So yes, I didn't look like a leader. but I had all the qualities of leadership because I wasn't following, and I refused to follow the way they wanted me to be. I just carried on turning up as me, turning up as me, turning up as me. And I help teams get to number one and do the same thing, because doing that helped me get to number one on a continual basis. So if you want to have a chat with me about you being number one, but not from your ego, in the serving of others, and that is sustainable, that is lasting growth. That is not a growth that goes up and down because your mood goes up and down and up and down. It is actually the joyous serving every single day, allowing that to come through you and passing that to other people. Imagine coming home from work and just feeling so joyous that you'd helped other people grow. Wow. Now, this is also about yourself as well. But understanding who you are is the absolute key. And you know what I realize is that we're all leaders, every single one of us. It's about stepping into the light and the absolute potential of who you are. But most of us will shine back from that because we're afraid to outshine other people just in case they don't like us. Well, that happened to me whenever I was 10 years old in a one pony camp and my friend didn't speak to me for a couple of days. And, so as far as I was concerned, winning was losing because I didn't want to win, lose my friends. But when you win, you help other people win. This isn't about competition. This is literally about co-creation, about walking forward together. Everybody, no hierarchies, no more hierarchies, everybody in it together. In the book, Black Box Thinking, there were two plane crashes that they looked at. And there was one where the plane crashed and everybody died. And when they listened to the black box, what was in there was the pilot knew everything and didn't want to listen to anybody. And he knew where they were going and he didn't take anybody. And what was really funny was the people, the stewards, everybody else would just literally, they were afraid to argue, even though their lives were at risk. Nobody argued with him. Doesn't make you right. Now, in the other one, the Hudson River, and that's where it was shown in the black box that he listened to everybody's opinion. He took on board absolutely everything and they worked as a team. So that's what we want to do. But if you don't know your team, and if you don't know how, because if you've got a sales team, they're very good at selling themselves, very good at talking the talk, ticking the boxes. But what's going on in their heart? What is going on in their head? And I can help you see that, just like that. Imagine the results you could get. Imagine, because there's no getting, I use that word get, but whenever you grow, then as a company or as a leader, then your team grows. And as your team grows, then their families grow. And everybody starts to grow. Everybody starts to grow. So what kind of leader do you want to be? Always at the front, always knowing? It's quite a hit to the ego to realize finally, I don't know everything. I know some things, but I don't know everything. Teach me. Book a call. I've put the link up there or down there. It'd be a pleasure for me to talk to you about your team. You tell me where you are at the moment, where you want to be. You may be the world's champions. It doesn't really matter. There's always room for growth, because if you're not growing, you're dying. And 10% growth isn't growing. 15% isn't growing. 20% isn't growing, because you did that last year. We want to be having sales. Imagine if you could have 100% growth, but sure, that's silly. You can't be doing things like that. Okay, don't book a call then. But if you want to grow and you want to be the best leader, then give me a call. The high waves left all the boats. Thank you very much. Listen, it is wonderful to have you on, and I wish you the most awesome day. And look at that, I've been here for 14 minutes and I didn't even notice. So have an awesome day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye now.